Now we're going to read Help from the same Liberty, How the Revolutionary War Began book. We're on pages 4 and 5. Page 4. Help! Yep! On horseback, on foot, and in wagons pulled by oxen, English colonists set out to find new homes. It was exciting to be a pioneer farmer, but settlers who made their homes on the frontier were always afraid of Indian attacks. The first English settlers, the Pilgrims, had made peace with the Indians, but some of the settlers who came later treated the Indians rudely and damaged their land. They cut down trees, fenced in fields, and killed or frightened away wild birds and animals. Finally, the Indians struck back. They joined the French in a war of terror against the English settlers. Flaming arrows flew through the dark night. Many lonely farmhouses, and sometimes even whole towns, burned to the ground. Men, women, and children were killed or made slaves of the Indian tribes. The English settlers needed help. They had a powerful ally, England. They called England the mother country. The American colonies were England's children. Now that her children were in danger, the mother country sent soldiers to help the settlers' own troops defend the colonies against their enemies. This fight, called the French and Indian War, began in 1754 and continued for almost 10 years. At last, the French and their Indian allies were defeated. In 1763, a peace treaty, the Treaty of Paris, was signed. France lost almost all her possessions in North America. Britain got Canada and most of the French lands east of the Mississippi. The colonial soldiers hung up their muskets over their fireplaces and went back to their farms. They hoped that they would never have to fight again. Now, let's look at the captions underneath each of these photographs, starting at the one on the top left. As the war grew fiercer, English colonists began offering bounties for Indian scalps. Bounty hunters sometimes showed off by wearing wigs made from scalps. Beneath that, by the year 1733, there were 13 English colonies strung out along the Atlantic coast of North America. Beyond them loomed the thick, dark forest. And then on page 5, beneath this large photograph, George Washington, who later became the first president of the United States, fought in the French and Indian War. "I heard the bullets whistle," he wrote to his brother, "and believe me, there is something charming in the sound."